It's the season of gratitude and giving back. There are many ways to get involved in the community, from the mobile food pantry to volunteering opportunities and its benefits. Hi, I'm Faye Callahan on this edition of NewsTeam Boulder, Thursday, November 18th. CU Boulder's #1 crime is bike theft, and it is known to peak during the fall season, so make sure you lock up your bikes. News Team Jessica's Macaulay tells us more.
There's no better place to bike than in Boulder, but unfortunately, on average, there's around 1,000 bikes stolen in the city each year. Here's some helpful tips from the university on how to keep your bike safe and avoid bike theft.
So a lot of people come to us and they just say, oh, well, my bike's stolen. What do I do? How can you help me? And we say, well, did you register your bike? And unfortunately, a lot of people don't have their bikes registered. And at that point, there's nothing we can do because if you don't have your bike registered, it's not in the registry and there's nothing that we can do to find it, or if somebody else finds it, there's no way we can really get it back to you. So the main way that you register your bike is we have these QR codes which you can scan and pull up a website, it'll take you to this thing called bikeindex.org, and you look for the serial number on your bike, manufacturer. Model year is a little iffy sometimes because you can never really tell with these, but they're usually going to be under here. Yeah. Okay. So they're either under here or up here. They're always going to be on the frame of the bike, which is the most important thing. It's important to get all of the numbers because this is the way that people tell whether or not it's actually your bike and registered with you. The great thing about registration is it actually goes into a national registry. So if your bike ever gets stolen, like taken across the country, and the police find it, they can get it back to you. And we have these stickers readily available for anybody who comes in. Just take this, slap this bad boy on right here, and there you go. Now it's registered.
Once you're registered, remember to lock up.
A few weeks ago, we reported on the shots fired outside of a CU Boulder fraternity house on the 800th block of 17th Street. This past Monday, Boulder police released photos of the suspected shooter, but they did not include his name. Boulder police have still not found the shooter. Anyone with information is asked to call Detective K. Sadara at 303-441-3489. The COVID-19 vaccination push continues. More than 31 million fully vaccinated adults have gotten a booster. Wednesday, Moderna said it filed for emergency use authorization with the FDA for its booster for all adults. The FDA could make a decision on Pfizer's authorization any day, while the CDC's advisors are set to meet Friday to talk about it. But at least 11 states expanded booster eligibility to all adults ahead of the federal green light. Some of the same states pushing back against the federal government's vaccine mandate aimed at companies with more than 100 employees. Colorado Governor Jared Polis signed an executive order declaring the entire state at high risk from exposure and urged boosters for any adult at least 6 months past the second dose of the vaccine or 2 months past the single-dose vaccine. Wanting to celebrate Thanksgiving but looking to avoid the family drama? Try hosting a Friendsgiving. The City of Boulder released their top 6 tips on how to host a COVID-friendly Thanksgiving. First, and the easiest, get vaccinated. Protect those who can't be vaccinated. Second, keep your gatherings small. Consider celebrating with just your housemates. Third, if the weather permits it, try hosting it outdoors. Fourth, consider hosting virtually so you can reach those long-distance relatives. Fifth, mask up while you're grocery shopping for your upcoming Thanksgiving feast. And lastly, there's no shame in having to cancel. If you're feeling sick, don't host or attend a gathering. Coming up after this, more on the impact of CU Boulder's cultural survey and what's happening with the moon tonight. We'll let you know right after the break. Our hearts all feel a little warmer after we volunteer, but did you know there's actual scientific evidence behind the positive effects volunteering can have on your mental health? News Team Jessica Macaulay has the story.
We all know the holidays are a time for joy and celebration, but for others, they can be a source of sadness and loneliness. However, volunteering is a great way to better your mental health and combat these feelings. According to the National Library of Medicine, studies have linked volunteering with a more satisfying life, a stronger sense of purpose, a boost in self-esteem, greater feeling of control, feeling more involved in your community, slower cognitive decline, and fewer depressive symptoms. Gratitude is the attitude, buffs, or at least it should be.
Get ready to bundle up for the upcoming holiday break. Coming up, Kaylee Elkin has everything you need to know to prepare for this weekend's weather.
Hey Buffs, here's your weather report. In Boulder, it seems winter is finally here. There's a cold front moving in with lots of moisture. For Boulder's weather today, it is mostly sunny with a high of 48 degrees and a low of 34. There is some slight cloud coverage though. For the Boulder air quality, it is good, so make sure to go out this weekend and enjoy the Boulder weather. For the weather tomorrow, it is going to be mostly sunny with a high of 63 degrees and a low of 38. For the Boulder 4-day forecast, we are looking for a high of 57 degrees on Saturday with some slight cloud coverage and a low of 32. On Sunday, it is going to be mostly sunny with a high of 55 degrees and a low of 36. As we move into Monday, it will be in the lower 60s with a low of 42 degrees as we move into the nighttime. For Colorado temperatures this week, you could see that it is starting to cool down in the state. As we move from Grand Junction along the I-70 to Aspen and to other parts like Colorado Springs, you could see that the weather is in the low 20s to the low teens. With more on national weather forecasts, we are looking at a scattered climates throughout the United States. Towards the west, you can see that there are some storms and some moisture. As we move into the Midwest, there is more chance for thunderstorms, rain, and some snow as we move into the north. As well as on the East Coast, there is some more moisture and some fog on the coast. More on the national weather forecast, we are looking at some low pressure systems on the west coast towards San Francisco, moving all the way up to Vancouver in Canada. As we move closer to the Midwest, there are a few high pressure systems as well as some low pressure systems moving into the southern states. As we move to the east, you can see that in New York and Philadelphia, there is some rain and thunderstorms, as well as some more low pressure systems drifting from the north to states like Florida. We are seeing some fog closer to Southern California, as well as some rain in the northeast and northwest states. There is some chance of snow as well in the north towards the east coast. That is all for weather today. Back to you, Faye.
You can view a historic event just by looking into the night sky tonight, but you may have to give up some sleep to see it. As college students, we deal with a lot of stress, especially around exams, and you might think that cheating is the easy way out, but here's NewsTeam's Georgia Worrell on tips on how to avoid that temptation.
Since this pandemic began, we've been seeing a lot of misbehavior, from people assaulting flight attendants to behaving uncontrollably at sporting events. Recent studies have found that misconduct among students is on the rise, especially cheating. If you violate CU's honor code, not only will you fail the class, you might be put on probation or suspension. To avoid cheating, read your syllabi and ask your professors about what is and what isn't allowed during exams. Are you allowed to use online sources, the textbook, or lecture notes? Next, study early so you won't be tempted to cheat. Put your phone away and close other tabs on your computer during exams, just to be safe. As the saying goes, once a cheater, always a cheater. Not worth it, buffs.
The longest partial lunar eclipse in nearly 600 years will happen late Thursday night into Friday morning. It's expected to last nearly 3.5 hours and is really close to a full eclipse. NASA says it will cover more than 97% of the moon. It can be seen from anywhere in the country as long as skies are clear. A lunar eclipse happens when the Earth passes between the sun and the moon, casting a shadow over the moon. Here in Boulder, the eclipse starts at 11ish, and the most visible will be around 2 in the morning. So maybe it's time to warm up that cup of hot cocoa for this viewing party. Snoopy has brought excitement and celebration to NASA's human spaceflight missions for over 50 years. He is there to inspire generations to dream big. Snoopy was used to encourage NASA's spaceflight safety initiative during the time of the Apollo mission. After the Apollo mission, a high honor award was created called the Silver Snoopy Award, given to NASA employees and contractors by astronauts, celebrating achievements related to mission success and human flight safety. Now, Snoopy will be heading back to the moon for his flight on the Artemis 1 mission, and will be wearing his custom orange flight suit and a NASA patch. The City of Boulder has released its top 10 winning names for snowplows as part of the city's first snowplow naming contest. These entries were submitted by Boulder students from kindergarten up to 5th grade. Each snowplow will receive a magnet with one of the following winning names. Here's what made the cut: Snowy, Snow Gobbler, Mighty One, Happy Tracks, Super Scooper, Frosting, Plowser, Plower Power, Darth Blader, and Ice Blade. That's it for this edition of NewsTeam Boulder. Make sure to tune in for the latest news, follow us on Twitter Buffs to stay informed while on campus. I'm Faye Callahan, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.